right. So I get into the hospital and the nurse, she sees me. And after I tell her, you know, who my doctor is, I'm 7 centimeters dilated. She's like, oh my gosh. She had an accent. I forgot where she was from. I want to say she might have been from Switzerland or somewhere. I can't remember. But she had an accent. She was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? She was like, you need to be sitting down in a wheelchair. Like, you shouldn't have walked up here by yourself. It's so dangerous. And I'm just like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, like, I'm not in any pain. She's, are you in any pain? And I'm like, no. You don't feel nothing? I'm like, no, I don't feel anything. It just feels like a regular day to me. Like, I just feel like a pregnant lady. Like, that's it. So they wheel me into my room, and I get into my room. I get settled or whatever. They have me change into my gown. They ask me, you know, when's the last time I ate? I tell them 7 a.m. So by this time, it's like 11. I'm starving. I'm ready for lunch. And of course, they're not going to let me get anything to eat. Get in my room, get in my bed. They get my IV started and everything. And every time I would have a contraction, there was not any pain. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest pain and 1 being the lowest, every time I had a contraction, it was at a 3. And when I had a contraction, I knew I was having one because my water would leak out. I could feel it leaking out. So they had to change my padding so many times because I was having a lot of contractions. They just weren't painful. So as soon as I got in my room and got comfortable, the eye of the storm reaches Columbus. So they have to evacuate all of the patients out of their rooms because of the windows and take them to a safe place. So they had to wheel me out of my room and they had to put me into another room. Thankfully, I actually had a room, like a comfortable room that was closed off with a door and a TV. The room that I went into to get into my room was one of those rooms where, kind of like how you see on TV or in the movies, they have patients and they have a curtain up. So there was like a bed, a curtain, then they had another bed and another curtain. It was like that, but I actually got an actual room, so I was really happy about that. So I can't remember how long I was in there. It might have been like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And then after the tornado warning passed, they were able to wheel me back into my room. By this time, while the tornado was getting in Columbus, Aaron, he had made it. But when he got there, like I said, the eye of the storm was following him. So when he got to the hospital, he first went to the wrong building, the wrong part of the building. And then he finally got to me, and he was drenched, y'all, from head to toe. He had on a hoodie, he had on sweatpants and tennis shoes, and he was drenched. His socks, his hoodie, I mean, it looked like he went outside and just stood in the rain like this. Like, he was wet all over. If he had an umbrella or not, or if it even mattered, because, you know, that kind of weather is really windy, really stormy. Like, it doesn't even matter if you have an umbrella. So he was soaking wet. I don't even think he had a change of clothes with him. So we had to hang his stuff up and let it dry. So we got back into my room, and you know, the nurse kept asking me, what's your pain level? What's your pain level? My pain level was a 3-4 the entire time I was in labor, from 11 up until about 5:30, 6 o'clock. It was a 3-4. So, and I stayed at a 7 centimeter dilation. Somewhere in between 2 hours before I gave birth, I made it to 8 centimeters in dilation. So by that point, they gave me Pitocin to speed up my contractions, get ready for the baby. It was kind of up in the air about if I wanted an epidural or not. I had one with my first pregnancy, and I was like, in a way, to me as a woman, in the past, you know, there weren't medicines or anything like that to kind of help with labor pain. So I was like, you know, I kind of want to see the experience on how it feels to give birth without any medications. I told the nurse that I was like, you know, I would like to get an epidural if it's not too late to get one. I can't get one since I'm dilated, you know, so far. Then that's fine. I understand. Aaron, he was like, he kept telling her, like, I need the epidural. I need the epidural. But like I said, I wasn't kind of really that concerned about getting one. It really didn't bother me too much until the pain really hit. Maybe within 15 minutes before I gave birth, I decided, okay, I need to get this epidural. I think, you know, my contractions are starting to kind of kick up. I can actually feel them now. They were at like a 7-8 on the pain level scale. So I was like, you know, I need to get an epidural. So the nurse went and got the doctor or the anesthesiologist, and they came in, they got ready to give me an epidural. I was already laying down on my back, so they didn't want to move me too much and have me sit up. So they told me to turn over on my side and get in the fetal position and to grab my knees as tight as I could. So when I did that, Zoe said,
You ain't finna be cracking me up in here.
She jumped. I felt her move. I felt her move from like my stomach area into my pelvis, like she was trying to come out. So I bucked, and they said, oh, are you gonna do that again? Like, is everything okay? And I was like, I don't know. I'm so scared. Like, I don't know. So, y'all, after that, I was like, I don't know what to do. So they was like, okay, we're gonna try it again. And they was like, you need to be very still, because we need to know if you're gonna do that again, because if you are, then you can't get this epidural. So I was just like, I said, I don't know. So, you know, got ready to, I guess, kind of wait around to see if I was gonna do that again. And within 10 seconds, Zoe did it again. And I was like, no. I was like, I gotta push, it's coming. It was like that. So I was screaming. So they was like, well, you can't get an epidural. And I was just like, I just had to know how I felt. Just had to know. So the pain level went off the scale. By that point, it went from a 3-4 to a 7-8 to a 14, and the baby was coming. So they turned me over. Y'all, I had about 10 people in my room. I had 3 nursing students in there with their instructor. I had my original nurse, like 2 or 3 other nurses in there. They helped me to the room when the tornado warning was in effect, and then I had my doctor. So, and then I had Aaron. So about 10 people, like I said. We get ready, you know, they got me propped up, ready to push. And I'm just like, look, she's coming. Like, y'all need to do what y'all need to do and get her out, because now I'm getting angry. I'm hungry. Y'all not moving fast enough. They got me ready, and I told them, I said, she's coming. And they was like, don't push. And I'm like, how you gonna tell me not to push? Like, I'm telling you she's coming. Like, I want to get her out. Like, don't tell me not to push. Like, this hurts. Like, I'm ready to have myself to myself again. So they got me ready to push, and I pushed, and I think my delivery was very short. I don't remember the time exactly, but when, like I said, it got time for me to push her out because she was already coming. It took maybe about 5 minutes, and I got her head out. Once her head came out, it took 28 seconds to push the rest of her body out. I was not playing them games about getting that baby out of me. So after, I actually yelled at my doctor, and I told him, hurry up and get her out. Like that. Like, I was not playing. Like, I was screaming and hollering. The whole, like, floor, I'm pretty sure they heard me screaming and hollering. Like, it was that intense. Aaron was like, I never heard you scream so loud in your life. Like, the note that you produced, he was like, I didn't even know that was inside of you. Like, it is a pain that you've never experienced. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I did not know what to expect. That's why I wanted to do it naturally. After that, you know, baby came out, and of course, they have to make sure that they get the I think like the plug and the placenta out. So the doctor was like digging in me, and I was like, hurry up. Like, hurry up. Like, do what you need to do and get out, because I can feel all of that. Like, it's very uncomfortable. So he was like, you know, my doctor is really cool. He's understood. He was like, you know, I'm sorry. I'm working the quickest that I can or whatever. So finally got her out, and that was it, y'all. It was terrible. And they put her on me fresh out of the womb. She wasn't washed or anything, and I was just overwhelmed with happiness to be able to finally to hold her in my arms. Like they say, the pain, it does not last forever. Like once you get that baby in your arms, like all the pain that you go through, it doesn't even matter. The reward and the joy is actually holding your baby in your arms. So I was really happy that I did that because I actually have a really funny story to tell her. Her name is Zoe, which means life, and life was very funny, and she brought the storm, and she came on a very, very, very funny day. So the last day of school, when I got into my career, it's just really funny how everything turned out. And then after I had her, you know, they kept us at the hospital for 3 days. I didn't get a lot of rest because they were in and out trying to check and make sure everything was okay. She had a bracelet on her ankle that kept going off because I was close to the window, which sucked. The healing time, I guess that will be another video. Postpartum recovery will be another one, so I'll have to save that for another video. So you guys, there is my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys thought it was a little funny, got some insight out of it. Be looking out for the postpartum recovery video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.